Hello, my name is Cindy Servant, and this is my audience.
Alex Fletcher, Zach, Tyler.
And today's topic is about military women in combat roles. I'm here to persuade others to support the combat role of females in the military. When you support women in the combat role in the military, you also should be familiar with Directive Policy 76-207 EEC, also known as the Equal Treatment Directive of 1976. You support the opportunity for women to be a part of a combat role in the military, even though they can't get into that position because they're female. They have an opportunity to get as close as they can. If they meet the requirements for the job, they have the right to serve a leader or be a part of leadership in a platoon or a company. They do not meet the qualifications for the job. They are excluded from the combat role that is associated with the military. For one to be part of a combat role, there would have to be a petition for less discrimination against women in the military. So it's like the Senate would have to pass a law or a policy for them to take a direct role in the military. And
How does the directive law work for women who have no opportunity in combat roles?
most women who want a job in the military want to make an impact in their field of work. If they can't get a direct infield combat role that they envy. I mean, it's like if I ask you, what does a female who wants to roll in combat need to do in order to achieve their goals? Since your question of military, what do they have to do? Since Congress had a ban in infield combat to women, they can't do much. Take the jobs that they can get involved in. Since they can't do close quarters combat, they'll get shot up easily. A woman can't have a combat role. Usually, they can take culinary, financing, officership, such as like ROTC, and become an officer. But the outfield leadership position, they can't really take that because that's usually infantry. Women usually take easier jobs so they won't be killed, like I stated earlier. Sometimes I think women would like to be in close combat to fulfill their job opportunity. And the needs of what position that means to them. According to a magazine I read, the opening ground of a combat specialist women is the latest step in today's society. As far as they can get is, like I told you, a culinary and the other oppositions they're entitled to. The military is known for having men serve in direct roles in history.
Okay, so now let's talk about how women not being in a combat role affects their duty as a military personnel.
Everyone should know the reason why military women can't be in the combat role. It will affect them as personnel. It could affect their leadership if they're under a man who is abusive, because there's a lot of sexual abuse that is within the military when women, because it's a horrid place for women to be a part of. The military takes many steps to ensure the safety of women to protect them from combat. And abusive forces from the men, such as sexual assault and verbal abuse, talking down to the woman. But the military has to realize that women can actually perform under dangerous missions also. But the Equal Treatment Directive of 1976 actually protects the woman. The principle of equal treatment means that there will be no discrimination to a woman whatsoever. If you do, you will have to pay a $1,000 fine or more. I believe that the fine, that there should be a higher penalty. Like the men should, they lose their rank, get kicked out of the military, if they touch even a woman. In Europe makes it illegal for mostly all parts for men to do that. Many women serve in the military in close combat because they don't have a direct position in close combat quarters. And the U.S. military, at least officially, still bans women from still serving in direct positions. As irregular warfare, it's become increasingly common in the past decade since Iraq. There's a difference on the ground combat supportive teams, but the government has opted this policy for women, but the government still bans them from serving a direct position in the field. And the Congress will not lift that ban. By supporting the equal treatment of 1976, you're entitled, you're supporting women who want to be a part of that combat field, who can take that role and lead into war. In conclusion, during my speech, I gave you enough information to know what the directive policy of Directive Policy 76-207 EEC was. Now I'll summarize why the law is important. While I was at drill, I talked with this woman, Haley Bryant. She's a culinary specialist, and she told me she can't have a higher position for combat role. She can't be infantry because she's a woman. She'll say that women who are exposed to combat simulated environments will continue out their mission without any problem. Women can go through the same thing as men can in any same situation or scenario. After the speech, I hope that you will not only gain an understanding about how badly women are turned away from combat roles, but also realize that there are other jobs that women can take in the military.